So, you might be thinking, how the hell did I see this movie months before it comes out, which is supposed to be April from what I understand? Well, like I said in my MegaCon video, I got to see a private screening, which, technically speaking, that's the first, like, we are the first people outside of Vegas at MegaCon, the viewing at MegaCon, to see this film, Screamboat. And I did think of putting this on Patreon, but I was like, no, YouTube is going to have a bigger platform. And I did say that the streaming movies were going to be on YouTube. And I do think this is going to be more of a streaming film than it is a theatrical release. Although I have heard there's going to be limited theatrical releases at some point. I can't remember if that was the case. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a review of Screamboat, the Steamboat Willie horror movie, one of several in public domain and Mickey Mouse horror movies, or, you know, that all started with the inspiration of Blood and Honey and all that. And honestly, real talk, my girlfriend and I, we saw this, like, we saw that there was going to be a private screening at night, like, as of Saturday. And what happened was that we initially thought, oh, this is going to be like Blood, like the first, because Blood and Honey just is just bad, and we thought we were going to go in there and laugh at how bad this movie is. But hey, you know, it is cool to be part of a private screening, and these people did work. I will never take away that someone, especially in the independent community, made a movie. I will never take that away from them. Quality-wise, the quality-wise is a different story, but I will never take away the fact that, you know, people got together, got money, and made a movie. And all of our expectations were it was gonna be bad. I am pleasantly here to tell you, Screamboat is actually fucking good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Screamboat is actually, when this movie comes out on streaming, go watch it. Like, I am telling you guys, go to limited screenings or rent it or anything. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm gonna buy this movie on Blu-ray. I am 100% gonna buy this movie on Blu-ray. Like, I went in there with very little expectations, and I walked out going, "That's a fucking good movie." Yeah, Walt Disney can come out of the grave and suck this movie's fat one, for all I care. Watch that be a goddamn post on the fucking. That's gonna be on the goddamn cover. I know it. Anyway. So, let's talk about a couple things. Because there is a lot to talk about this movie. Let's actually talk about the experience first. This was, like I said, my first time doing a private screening, and we got to see some trailers, and a lot of them didn't look good, but I will say Stream looks really good. That one looked really good. It had, like, it's going to have one of the last performances of Tony Todd. It's got Jeffrey Combs, Herbert West in there. We got Dee Wallace. We got Danielle Harris. It's like the Expendables of horror movies right there, and I'm very, I don't care about the quality. I was like, that's going to look good. Grandfather Clock and Clown Motel 3, yeah, I can, and In looks interesting. In looks interesting. I hate myself. Those looked good. That In looked good. The Clock looked fascinating, but it just didn't appeal to me. But it was cool to see these trailers from indie horror. That was really cool. And to be there in a room that was very positive. I think that's the other thing, too, that I really liked, is that I was in an aura of like, this room full of fellow horror fans, and it made me, like, really appreciate, appreciate more, I should say, of what it takes to have horror fandom. I will also say that there were some technical difficulties, but God bless the creative team and the director, because they were like, this is my nightmare, but they were like doing everything they can, and everyone, like me, everyone else in the crowd, we were all very patient. I actually got to ask a question talking about, like, the evolution of the concept design behind this horror version of Steamboat Willie. So that was all really cool. So I really appreciate the great experience, and I'm sure the director, producers, everyone else, they had a great time too. Having said all that, let's actually talk about the movie. The movie, I'm not going to give too many spoilers. Actually, I don't think I'm going to give any spoilers, but let's talk about a couple things. Like I said, this movie is about the horror version of Steamboat Willie. They don't call him Mickey, they just call him Steamboat Willie. And it is played by David Howard. The character is played by David Howard Thornton, and also a puppet, which I need to explain because, like, he's actually mouse size. Like, he's actually, like, a size of a mouse. I thought that he wasn't. I thought, like, it was going to be human. I thought, the Willy was going to... That's a sentence. I thought Willy was going to be as big as a human. I thought he was going to be human-sized, but no. And it actually is kind of cool. It gives us, like, this Ghoulies, Gremlins kind of feel with making Willy mouse-sized. And David Howard Thornton, what more can I say? Art the Clown, he does great in here. He does also, like, cool voices and whistling. Especially he does, like, whistling when he kills, and it coincides with how he kills someone. I really do like that. I really think that's cool of how he uses the whistling to go in term with the murders as well. This movie also has, like, a lot of nods and digs at Disney, but they even said, like, at the beginning of this film, I mean, before the film started, the creative team was like, everyone thinks we hate Disney, or we hate these characters. They actually really love them, and it's actually, like, some nice jabs here and there. There's actually, like, one good joke about the live-action Disney remakes that was the best joke. That was probably the best joke in the movie. But there are some other ones, and other ones I'm sure I will go back when I get this on Blu-ray, because I am getting this on Blu-ray. That I'm gonna go watch this movie again and be like, oh shit, that was there. Yeah, there's also some very flagrant ones, like nice quotes here and there. There's some great ones. The kills are the selling point of this movie, right? So let's talk about the kills. The kills of this movie are nothing short of fun. They clearly knew where their budget went to. This was also from the same producers as Terrifier 2 and The Mean One, which I liked. I think The Mean One, it had its budget, and it was clearly showing. Here, they clearly had a little more money to go into special effects. There is 2 kills in particular that are, like, very simultaneous. And you're gonna remember them, trust me. But there is a lot of fun there. There's a lot of comical stuff, too. Again, I think it's Thornton's performance that really carries that. The story itself is just kind of minor. It's just, and the story of just everyone on this ferry boat as Willy is killing them off, and there's a reason behind it. There is a story behind him, which I thought was kind of fun. But I don't want to go too deep into that. But Willy, because he's not Mickey. They just call him Steamboat Willie. But Willy in here there's some great kills, and also Thornton's performance, I think, accentuates that, and it gives him a little more to do vocally than Art the Clown. I think Art is his best work, but you clearly see, no matter what, he is giving it his all every time, whether it be the Mean One, or this. Yeah. Now, let's go on to the 2 negatives I had with this movie. The one being, I think editing was a problem. There's a couple scenes where I was like, that just jumped and happened, where, like, our main character is trying to get away from these friends of hers who are all drunk, and then she got away from them, and then she hears them all laughing. He's like, and then it cuts to a scene of her back running into them again, and we don't know why. Maybe I missed it, but we don't know why she's trying to get away from the birthday girls. I don't know. Maybe I missed that. But yeah. But she runs back and I was like, wow, that was a jump cut. Also, there's another point where it really does feel like there are characters who just show up to get killed. Like, I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, that happened twice. There was one where it was 2 characters like, I think I saw you at some point in the movie, but, like, okay. There are other 2 characters who are like, where the fuck did you come from? Maybe I missed, like, blink and you miss it, but I think it was just more like to pad out more kills and have more fun with it, which I'm always fun for Carnage Candy. The other thing, I feel like the ending goes a little too long. I feel like the ending does kind of stretch out itself, and I think if it was just a wee bit shorter, I would have appreciated that more. But aside from that, really, this movie is awesome. I love this movie very much. Those are just minor things in general. I think the positives outweigh the negatives by a fucking country mile. I had no expectations for this movie. I had very little... because we've just had a string of just bad in public domain horror movies because, oh, it's in public domain, we can make fun of these childhood characters, ha 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 ha, watch them die. But here there's actual fucking heart, which I like. I appreciate that not only, like, it's like these people know the property and understand it and want to get, and also give you something cool to watch, and also that pokes fun at the main property while not being mean-spirited like I feel like the Pooniverse is, where I feel like the Pooniverse is more like just more mean-spirited towards the properties and just trying to be mean digs at the former owners of those characters. That's not the case here, where I feel like there was like, yeah, we're actually fans and we love these characters and we just want to poke some fun. And I appreciate that. I wish that was more the case. And also, I am hoping we get to do more stuff other than horror characters in the public domain. Looking directly at you, everyone who's making a Popeye horror movie. You couldn't do like I still want like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of story with Popeye. I'll fucking do it myself. Yeah. So, there you go. I highly recommend go stream it, go watch it in select theaters. I absolutely loved this movie. It was such a pleasure to watch it, be part of the experience. I also want to give a shout out, if they are watching, to the director, to the creative cast, everyone. That was a great experience. I know there are technical difficulties, but hey, I think that helped. I really do think the technical difficulties actually helped the experience for me, because, like, you know, getting to do those questions and asking that question directly to the director, and also, like, you know, seeing the hard work. Like, these guys genuinely, this was a labor of love for them, and I appreciate that. So, if you guys are watching, on the very off chance you are watching this review, you guys did a great job, and I hope we get Screamboat 2 in the near future. That would be great. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is my review for Screamboat. I know most of you haven't watched it yet, so I can't say that, but yeah, go check it out when it comes out. I highly recommend it. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.